All right, hey Stitchy friends, I am gonna do hopefully not too long of a finishing video today where I finish my previously stitched pattern. This is my pattern called Snail Mail Forever. It's one of my little postage stamp patterns that I've been stitching. This is stitched on 32 count mint splash Lugana. This is available in my Ko-Fi and my Etsy shop that I have now. These are really small. I think I mentioned a fun finish. I don't know. I know I've shared this like in my Zoom stitches and things like that, but I'm not sure if I've shared anything else about it. But what I'm going to do for this is, hopefully you can see it. I am going to finish this into a magnet to go on this cute little mailbox. Now, these mailboxes come from Hobby Lobby. I think they were like $2.99. I did make a little stand for mine. It's going to be hard to see, but it will stand up on this green stand. This is a wood kind of like, this may be a chess piece. And then a little wood circle from Hobby Lobby that I just painted and glued together so that it would be a little stand. It does have a little moving flag and it does open. So my thought behind this finish is I could decorate it with like my little snail mail, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. But I have a pattern coming that will be fun too, but also like I'm thinking about decorating it seasonally with little stamps and then using this kind of as a like mailbox, treat box, surprise box for my kids, specifically my son. He loves getting the mail, but we don't really let him do that because it's right on the road, obviously, our mailbox. So he can't like go do it by himself. But I figured anytime there was like a little holiday or maybe like a special treat or his birthday, we could put a little surprise or a note or something in the little mailbox for him, and I thought that'd be really fun, and then it'll also serve as a cute little decor item. So I've already done the painting and gluing of this. You don't have to do this. It would sit nicer probably or easier. This is pretty steady, but it is going to get knocked over easily if it's bumped, so you can totally leave the little stand off. And if you want to get the mailbox, this is super cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first just go through and I am going to finish my little snail mail thing that I'm going to do. And I have this cut down a little bit, but it needs to be a lot smaller. So, okay, so let's do some measuring of my piece. So my piece is about 2 1/4 in length, and I want to add a 1/4 inch border on each side. So if I have 2 1/4 length, I need to make my length 2 3/4. And then my width, that means that way we will have a 1/4 inch border on each side. My width is just about 1 3/4. So if I want to add a 1/4 on each side, I want to add it's 1 3/4, so I want to make it 2 1/4. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our sticky board. So anytime I use sticky board or press-on board, I keep my scraps. They're great to stick or like tape back together for bigger projects or just to keep for really small ones. So always keep your scraps. And then I'm going to pull out my Tim Holtz Rotary trimmer. Now you can cut this with sticky board, a ruler, an X-Acto knife, however you generally cut this. I like my tonic trimmer because it makes it super easy and it will cut through the sticky board. There will be some resistance when you're cutting, but it will absolutely go through it, which makes it super duper nice. So I am just going to find my first measurement over here, which is again 2 3/4. So that's one side, and then the other side will be 2 1/4. And there are lines all across the board for you to be able to easily cut this down. So Now we have our little piece of sticky board, and I like to then take it and kind of do a little test and see, you know, do I like that? I will cut my fabric down as well. So that's where we're looking at. It's obviously not perfect, but I like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down my actual cross stitch piece. Now, mind you, I'm going to be using glue today when I put this together. Generally, if I'm doing a project, I will sometimes use glue, but if it's like a really like important piece to me, or it took me, you know, years to stitch, I don't know, something like that, I will generally kind of do some lacing. It really just depends. These are teeny tiny little pieces. I don't really need them. I'm not going to be upset if something happens to them necessarily. They fall apart. If I need to restitch it, it's totally fine. And it's not like I feel the need to, like, if I make this into the little magnet that I'm going to do today, which I'm going to make this into magnets. I don't know if I said that. I'm making these into removable magnets. I'm putting them on the mailbox with magnets so that they can be easily swapped out. If I ever want to redo the finish, I'll probably just restitch the piece. So I'm just going to find my rotary cutter that I lost. And I'm just going to trim my piece down. I generally use like a quilter's ruler for this, but they're all in my dining room, which has been taken over as my quilting annex. So I just grabbed this little other one I had, and I'm just trimming it down so that there's not as much fabric bulk on the back. So I am trying to make kind of like straight lines, but other than that, I'm not really worried about it. The quilter's rulers have lines going vertically and horizontally, so they are very helpful to get straight lines if you need precision. I don't really need precision right now, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so we got a much smaller little space to work with. Okay, I say okay a lot. I'm so sorry about that. I try to stop myself, and it's just like a habit I can't break. So we got to find our little board we cut. Where'd it go? Where'd the right one go? I cut it wrong earlier. You won't see it because I'll edit it out of the video, but I totally cut it wrong earlier. Where did it go? Oh, right here. I need to get rid of that piece so I don't get confused. Okay, so here's our little piece. Now, you can put batting on this to give it a little fluff if you want. I don't really want to do that today. You can put interfacing on it if you want to secure your stitches. Again, I'm not going to do that. So what I am going to do, since I'm not using batting, I'm going to peel off the back of the sticky board, the like liner that protects the stick. Maybe. There we go. And I'm gonna kind of eyeball it. And actually what I might do is do it from the back. Because it's sticky board, it is going to be sticky, but you can reposition it. It's not hard. So now I'm just going to give it a look and see, do I have the same margin on each edge? It's not too bad. You can measure if you want. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm okay with that. What I also do if I'm doing larger pieces that I'm finishing, I use double-sided tape or sticky dots from that quarter shop. It's their It's So Emma brand. I'm not going to do that today because it's going to be so small. I'm literally just going to use hot glue. So don't come at me for the hot glue usage. I don't care today. I use and it just fell on the floor, the Bonder glue gun that is cordless. It makes it super duper easy. I also do have the Bonder glue pen, which is really great if you're doing smaller projects, but it isn't cordless. So I am literally going to this is how I'm going to do it today. Sometimes I change it up. This is how I'm going to do it today. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my corners first. And if you're worried about getting burnt, you might grab something to press it down. I put too much glue. The glue pen is really nice if you have that, or if you're looking to get a glue gun. The glue pen is really nice for these kinds of things because you can get a much smaller amount of glue out, like much more precision. So I'm gonna glue the corners in first, which might be a little unusual. I don't know. Came in. I need to put a new glue stick in, but there wasn't quite enough room to fit the glue stick in yet. So I'm just grabbing those little corners and I'm pulling taut, but I'm not pulling hard enough for the corner to poke through my fabric, but I am pulling enough to try to get it kind of pointy. Then kind of just like wrapping a present, I'm gonna fold the sides up. This probably isn't going to get me the crispest corners, but it will do the job for today. I need a new glue stick. If you're scared of hot glue, by all means, this part is pretty, I mean, it's all your preference, however you want to finish it. This is just what I'm doing. Like, I got a glob of glue right there. Where's that other piece of sticky board? I'm going to use that sticky board to kind of get it off. So we're getting our little corners. I will tell you, I'm not going to make the back pretty today. Like if you were making an ornament, for example, you would want to finish the back. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel the need. I don't feel the need to use extra sticky board or extra fabric or just my time in general. But again, you do you. You do you, boo. More glue. Scrape some of that off. I had to clean my craft room before doing this today, so it's been a long day in here, but not anything fun. I mean, it's fun to like look through your stuff, but actually having to put it away. So if you look, I don't have the nicest corners. What I will usually do in this case is like pinch them together. I don't have any good fingernails right now, but I will put like a little drop of glue right there. I'm probably gonna burn myself doing it, but I'll put like a little dab of glue and then use my fingers to like pinch it together to get my corners a little tighter. They're not going to be the best because I didn't fold it or lace it nicely, very nicely, but it's okay. I just like push those little corners together. That's why hot glue is nice because it dries relatively quickly. But what I will also do in this case, if it's a piece that I'm not gluing, I will just lace like right into these corners. I'll like pull the corners together with thread. And I'm not scared to get messy. I mean, hot glue, I mean, yes, it will burn you, so obviously be careful. But it comes off so easily that I don't know. Hot glue doesn't bother me. Would I let my kid work with it? No. He would burn himself. So I'm just pushing the little corners in to make them a little nicer. And once the hot glue cools a little bit, I'll kind of push that down too. And I think that's okay. It's, again, it's not perfect. It's probably even a little crooked. For this purpose, it's okay. So if you can like imagine, I have hot glue stuck to my hands. My little snail mail. decorating that. And I think I'm gonna wait to see if I want to do another piece of sticky board. I could decorate the other non-flag side and have a little more room, but if I want to keep it on the flag side, I am kind of running out of real estate if I want to put my other decorative pieces on that I planned. And my plan for the next part is to do little flowers that are made of felt and magnets so that they can be moved around and rearranged. So let me just set this to the side for now. I may come back and put it on another piece of sticky board just to give it a more finished edge. Or I could also put a little bit of rickrack or something on there as well. So I may do that. For right now, I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. So let me move my glue gun so I don't accidentally burn myself. I have talked about this before, like in regular floss tubes, the fact that I will use felt, for instance, like felt shapes to decorate the backs of my pillows when I cut the hole through and to stuff them. What I thought today would be fun for this is just to do some flower shapes to decorate my little mailbox. So I have lots of different metal dies because I do paper crafting as well. This is the plate that I use to cut my dies out with. So if you have some of these metal dies, you can absolutely do this. You just need to get some felt as well. This is wool felt from, primarily it's from Benzie Design. I think most of my felt now is from Benzie Design, or I do have some also from Tailored Expressions. And I am going to cut some shapes out and kind of make some fun little decorations. I don't know exactly what my plan is or how I'm going to use these. But I did want to show you how I do it. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's just pick like a flower. And I liked this color, kind of mimicked the color in my snail's shell. So I thought it would be fun to do a little flower shape for that. I do have this kind of larger set. Let me find what these are. These are, let me tell you what the dies are. This is a die set called Paper Posy Dies from the company Concord and Ninth. I will tell you that this die set is meant to go with an embossing folder and stencil set and things like that. So I'm not necessarily using it for its intended purpose, but it doesn't matter because I just was picking any floral shapes. If you don't have dies, you can decorate your mailbox if you choose to do this any way you want. You can get your own little flowers. I even looked at faux flowers or fake flowers, and I just didn't like any of them. So I thought, well, I'll just make a few of my own with felt. So I think the big one is too big. This one is a little too large. So maybe I'll just stick to these kind of cute little ones over here. So if you're not used to or don't know what a die cutting machine is, a die cutting machine is just either a manual or electric machine you can use to cut a variety of materials, paper generally, sometimes felt. I have an Anna Griffin Impress electric die cutting machine. I can't really easily pull it into the camera because it's pretty big, but it looks, this is the top of it. Oh yeah, he didn't get a good look at it. If you have a question about it, let me know. The good thing about die cutting machines is this one's a little bit more expensive, but it works really, really well. In the plates that you use to cut with, these plates, I have a magnetic plate in the middle and two acrylic plates that make the sandwich on either side. With the Anna Griffin Impress machine, the plates never warp. And if you're used to a manual die cutting machine, those plates over time are definitely going to bend and warp on you, causing you to replace them more often. These, I have never replaced them, and they're still working, and it's been years since I've had this. I do also have manual die cutting machines such as the Spellbinder's Platinum machine, and it is also a wonderful machine. So if you have specific questions about die cutting and machines, please let me know and I'm happy to answer them. Just know if it's me, the only ones I've ever used are the Spellbinder's Platinum and the Anna Griffin, and I would recommend both of them. And I use both for different things, so I do use both of them. This one though, I've made my little sandwich. I am just cutting my dies down into the felt, and I'm gonna run it through, and it runs through on its own. So the nice thing about electric is that you do not have to hand crank it. So if you have wrist or motion issues, this is great. It's pretty fast too, so. And it cuts really nice. So I have a little flower there, a little flower there, and I thought for these little ones, I could use a button for the center. These buttons are from Just Another Button Company, and I belong to the Button Lovers Club, which is I think it's quarterly club where they send you a tin of buttons. This was the Crab Apple Blossom tin. I don't know if this is still available. The club has already moved on, obviously, but if it is, I can link it. But I thought it would be cute to just put a little button in the center. If I can get it. Yep. And then I'll put a small magnet on the back so that I can move it around as I need. So this tin of buttons is actually really cool. I'm not going to use it for this, but they had different floral shapes and things in it. So, I mean, I could just make little magnets out of the buttons, but I want to save my buttons and use the felt. But I thought it'd be super cute to have them as decorations in the center. So if you picture a little flower there, and then we have kind of this other shape, which you could either do a button in the center, or I'm gonna cut another one of these out of a different color and kind of layer them together. So I have this other pink, and I'm just going to cut that shape again. Now, you could stitch your buttons on. I'll be honest, I'm probably going to glue them. Just because I can. But you certainly could. So now when you layer these together, you get kind of a different little... Actually, I don't like that. I don't like that much. But I think it's just because it didn't have a center. You get kind of a little... flower shape. So, I have a few of those. I also have some greenery. So I'm just going to cut some little stems and things to go. I have this little guy and kind of a bigger one that I thought could tuck under my stamp. So you do want to be careful because felt is delicate. It will rip. So this machine cuts really nicely, but if you're not careful, like I just ripped it in half. But that's okay because my plan is to kind of tuck these under the flower so they'll be like attached to the flower so they won't be totally on their own. So got some little leaves. Again, you could hand cut these. You could just decorate with anything else. I realized I needed to cut the bigger one of that other flower. Where did it go? Or the smaller one. This is what I needed to do. I need this little piece. That's why it looked kind of funny. Oh, I did have this big green leaf I was gonna do too. So I'm just gonna make some room on my machine or my platform to do both at the same time. I hope this is making sense. If it doesn't, just let me know and I can try to do better at explaining it. This leaf is more substantial. So you can kind of like tuck stuff under. Okay, and then I wanted to do a yellow one because there's also yellow in my pattern. I'm gonna do both just in case I want a couple. I save all my felt scraps, so you never know when you're gonna want to cut something small. I really like this one. I like this shape a lot, so I may just make a few of those. I'm not sure. I didn't have a full plan on the whole, how the design was going to come out. I just knew I wanted some floral shapes. So now, like this bigger shape, I don't know if it's meant to go like that. I kind of liked it the other way. I don't exactly know how this floral set is supposed to go together. If you're supposed to like... I probably should have looked at the instructions. Or should have looked at some inspiration. I know like you're supposed to like layer things together. This specific flower isn't on that picture. So that doesn't really help me. That's okay. Let me see if I have another tiny yellow button. I kind of like that. It's kind of strange looking, but that's okay. I have some more little pink ones. Like, I think that would be fun. I think this is fun. This specific little tin had a cute little spool in there and a super cute bee and a super cute tomato and a bird. Definitely check them out if you're interested if you like buttons or like to collect them. I don't have a teeny tiny, I was looking for like a teeny tiny green one. Oh yeah, maybe there is. Oh, they're just in the bottom. They have some really tiny ones in here too, and they were all at the bottom. There we go. Try not to lose any of my precious buttons. So they had I guess they had teeny yellow ones. So this was kind of my vision, like do the little flowers. And then I'll have some little flowers to decorate my mailbox with. So, what's nice, because those leaves broke, it was great because I actually now just have leaves that I can break apart and stick wherever. Oops, come here. Okay. So, this is kind of my vision. Scoot stuff out. little flowers plus the mailbox. So I'm gonna actually just pause here and I'm gonna glue these together real quick just as you see them. And then I'll come back to you when I put the magnets on so you can see that. And then we'll finish up. Okay, I am back. I've glued all my little flowers together with their button centers and their beads. And then I'm just gonna quickly glue some magnets on the back. I did one right here. I have these small, strong, I think they're rare earth magnets. They're, watch, they can really like, yep, they're really strong. I will link them below if they're still available. So I'm just gonna quickly glue those together. And then I went ahead and pulled some Lori Holt trim to go around the edge of my little stamp, just to give it a little extra. I decided not to do the other layer of, what do you call it? Sticky board. Oh my gosh, I couldn't remember. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a few magnets. You only need one, like these are strong. A little dab of glue. And I'm just gonna stick it in the center. And yes, there will be like hot glue strings everywhere. Such is working with hot glue. Okay. There's one. Oops. Ah! The hot glue strings have attacked me. I will say, because I'm using this wool felt, it is delicate, so you just want to be careful, because literally if you pull on it, it can rip. So if you're worried about that, you may want to not do this. All right, we'll let those dry, and then I am going to knock things over. Just quickly put this little trim on my piece. I'm just gonna kind of quickly do like a rough, how much do I need kind of thing. If I need a little extra, or I guess if I waste a little, it'll be okay. So again, this was Lori Holt vintage trim. It's the like bigger kind, but it doesn't have a name on here, so I think it's just cloud or white. You can buy it on Backwater Shop or probably other places. So I'm just gonna run a line of glue around the edges of my, ooh, that was a lot of glue. Try to smooth that out. I think I have more margin on this side than the other, so it's a little wonky. It's not quite straight, but it'll be okay. All right, so I just put another dab of glue on the back, shoved my magnet right in there, so we'll let that dry for a second. Okay, so we have our little snail mail. We have our little florals. I think for this purpose, You could totally just have like one flower. Dog hair there. My rickrack on the top got a little too like pushed down, but that's okay. Have one little flower up there, but I think that's really cute. Or if you want some more space, just flip it over. Let me have some more space for our flowers. Oops. Ew. They're really strong magnets. So the nice thing is you can literally just move them around and it's not a permanent thing. That's gonna bother me. That rickrack got too pushed down. This is where it's nice when you don't use hot glue because you can more easily adjust things. See how it's like shorter on one end? It's fine. I might fix that later, but it's fine for now. So, I don't know. However you want to do it. You can have them peeking up. You could do the front too. So maybe I'll put one on the front. They're kind of hard to pull off, so be aware. Do the big one on the front. The mailbox has a curve to it, so I'm trying to get them to look decent without hitting that curve. So, oops. Just little flowers. Anyways, so obviously I could have done better with my finishing of my piece in terms of like making it straighter and the rickrack nicer looking and whatnot. But again, this is for my kids, so I wasn't too worried about it. And I plan on, again, making some like seasonal ones and other ones to put on here, and making my little mailbox. And there's my little one on front. It has a little bit of glue I need to pull off. A little bit of hot glue that like squidged out. But anyways, so my little flower. Let me see if I can, I'm going to lift the camera so if I get shaky for a second. Ugh. Show it a little better. So there's the front. There's the back. So if you imagine it like standing up. So I plan to put little like, you can see how messy my desk is in my setup. Little like treats and things in here for my son. And like if he gets something in the mail from grandma, I can stick it in here and he can, you know, check the mail, quote unquote. So I think it's really fun. And I like the idea of doing the little felt decor because then it is super easy to move around and change out. So anyways, nothing crazy fancy or complicated here, but I hope maybe that inspired you to do something similar. Even if it's just using, you know, magnets and a metal piece to decorate, and felt is really fun as well. I will tell you the felt that you buy at like the big box stores, it does not cut as well. But it does last, or it doesn't tear as easy. So it doesn't cut with the die machine as well through the dies. But if you were like hand cutting things, it would probably be a little more sturdier. So it would be an okay option as well. Again, I like to use my dies and my die cutting machine. And you can see those flowers are really fun. So anyways, so there's my little mailbox. So I hope this was helpful or inspiring in some way. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll try to get this edited and posted soon and link to anything that I can. But if I've missed anything or if you just have general questions, just reach out to me. But other than that, thanks so much for checking out my little video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next regular floss tube soon. Bye!